Let's start with John Lewis, Isabel. What are they doing right?
There's a lot that they're doing right in terms of they didn't need to promote, to launch promotions very early in the season to get people to shop at Christmas. They have a huge element of trust amongst shoppers, and they've got a great omni-channel strategy, which means that shoppers can flexibly pick up their products and send the returns back to the store.
Which is what the boss was saying there. They're browsing online and then...
Yeah, and they've got the huge store portfolio with Waitrose, which really adds to their sort of advantage in that respect.
And George, we in the media get obsessed about the Christmas advertising campaigns, and John Lewis, of course, being one of the most famous. Does it work for them? Does it really have that sort of impact?
I think for them, they've managed to turn it into a real Christmas institution. Huge viewership. The song was #1 twice, I think. So it really puts John Lewis front of mind when people are getting ready to go Christmas shopping.
And Debenhams, poor old Debenhams, can't really blame the weather, can it? Because these other shops we've been talking about have been doing well. So where is Debenhams going wrong, Isabel?
Well, I would sort of highlight three key things. One is the promotional strategy. They start too early, so there's less chance of shoppers buying full price. The second thing is their product range. I think they focus too much on their own brands. I know the sort of designers at Debenhams are doing well, but for the rest of the brands, I think there's a bit of confusion about what they actually mean. And then thirdly, in terms of their omni-channel strategy, I think in terms of flexibility of pickup, returns and fulfillment, they don't offer the same range that, say, House of Fraser and John Lewis offer.
Yeah, but John Lewis have got Waitrose to fall back on there, haven't they? What do you think, George, about Debenhams? What could they improve?
Well, it was a really promotional Christmas across retail. Lots of people were discounting. Traditionally, Debenhams was always the first to do so and probably had an advantage. But I think this year, when so many retailers were cutting prices, that wasn't enough to bring people through the doors. And I suspect there's probably some truth in what Isabel was just saying. The product clearly wasn't compelling enough. Retailers need to have a really good reason for the customer to come in and spend with them rather than a rival.
And I've got to ask you about the bad weather excuse, because the rest of us, when we hear that, the alarm bells are ringing, and actually they can't really blame bad weather this time, can they? Because the other chains have done so well.
Well, we've only had a few of the Christmas updates. I wouldn't be surprised if more retailers find themselves in a similar position to Debenhams. But I think the growth of online retail has meant that people can do their shopping in different ways, and that counteracts the weather a bit.
Do your alarm bells ring when you hear the bad weather defence?
I never believe it, because
Right.
there's always retailers that do well, whatever the weather.